KTRU News has played portions of an interview our Stan Barber conducted with Food Service Director Joyce Rubash Tuesday afternoon. We now present a more complete version of a rather interesting discussion, trying to pinpoint why Rice students are appalled by food service meals. Mrs. Rubash left no doubt that she thinks much of the problem comes down to the handling of the food in the individual college kitchens.
That Central Kitchen gets much of the blame for what happens. It should be, instead of Central Kitchen, it should be College Food Service. Because we have learned, this year in particular, there have been several students who've been able to communicate to us just what does happen in the unit kitchens. And that is that the cooks are not following our instructions on the preparation of meat particularly, and vegetables. And we are in the beginnings of an educational program for all of our unit employees where we're going to bring them into Central Kitchen for 30 minutes, one afternoon a week, just a certain group. Like we'll have the evening cooks one time, the morning cooks another time, the salad cooks, and like this. Bring them in and go over how you cook broccoli. That you don't have to cook it at 3 or 3:30 or 4 in the afternoon. You can wait and do it at 5:15, and it'll be ready at 6. And it'll be a much better quality than cooking it earlier, and it's sitting for 30 minutes to an hour before it's served. That's where you lose the quality, as the student calls it.
Mrs. Rubash says the food is great when it leaves the Central Kitchen. It's what happens afterwards that prompts all the complaints.
We've been checking on it this fall because we've had several. I've often wondered what the student meant when he said quality, because I know what we buy, and yet they say it's poor quality. It's not poor quality food. It's just poor quality when it's served because of that. That's why the roast beef gets tough. It's because the cook has not done what she's supposed to be doing, the one in the unit. When it leaves here, it's great. Any student that works here in Central Kitchen, I should say all of the students who have worked here, or most of them who talk to you, will tell you that the food here is different from what they get in their own unit. Now they get it the way it leaves here. And many of them like to come back, even if they don't have a job, they like to come over here and eat. Because it is different. Because our cooks here, it's prepared at the same time, but they take care of it differently. Now, there are cooks in the units who are very good, and we don't have complaints out of those colleges, because the cook knows how to do it, and she follows instructions. And when she does that, then you have the quality still there when it's served. Of course, the fact that we cook it here and truck it over there, you know, that can be a delicate situation, because you can lose the quality, quote unquote, in transit.
And maybe some of the problem is just in the students' heads.
Oh, there's a few, I guess you'd say, are ideas that I have about the situation. One is, I don't know if I ought to say this, Mother normally does not buy the same quality food that we buy. Now, any student can come in here and check the quality food we buy. It's been open 10 years that I've been on Rice campus. Any student, in fact, I've invited them to come. Several have, and we're surprised what they found. But we do buy top quality food. And Mother doesn't get that in the grocery store. You can't buy that quality in the grocery store, and the grocers will tell you that because the housewife will not pay that price that he'd have to charge. And I have often wondered if maybe it's because they're not accustomed to quality food, and I mean quality in the raw state.
Of course, people's tastes are different, and it's hard to satisfy all of the people all of the time.
I've come to this conclusion. Sometimes the cook feels like, well, now the student can't possibly like it like that because I don't like it like that, such as rare meat. We have a lot of students that ask for rare meat. And almost to the person, these cooks don't like to see blood, the meat even pink, so they just cook it to death, And we've told them how to prepare the roast beef, for instance, when it leaves here, what to do with it to keep it rare. And it's very difficult to keep roast beef rare, but we can keep it maybe medium rare, which is better than well done, because I don't like it well done myself. But that will be one reason why the cook does not follow our instructions, possibly because she thinks, well, I cook all the time, and these kids don't complain to me, so they must like it. But instead of complaining to her, they're complaining to each other, which finally gets around to me, instead of, telling the cook. Mm-hmm. So that would be one of the reasons. I think that maybe they're not preparing it that way. Another one might be that the cook might just feel like, well, I just don't want to take that much trouble, and I'll just do it a quick way. And the quick, safest way is to do it early and hold it.
So that's Joyce Rubash's explanation. It makes things no easier on our stomachs, I guess, but it is food for thought, if nothing else. I'm Lee Hochberg, KTRU News.